Hi everyone, welcome back to Raw Synergy TV. I'm so excited because weather's starting to warm up a little bit and I'm really excited about getting into some more variety of foods and more fruits, and I've been eating just a ton of bananas lately. A really delicious smoothie is bananas and fresh coconut water. From a fresh young Thai coconut, just pour out the water and put it in your smoothie and it tastes so good. I'm in love with that smoothie right now. So that's kind of what I've been doing for breakfast every day. Has been lots of bananas and coconut water. So good. And then the last few days I've been putting in some greens. I've been doing just a little tiny bit of kale just to get that rich chlorophyll and lots of minerals. So I wanted to share a few things with you today. I don't know if any of you have access to cocktail grapefruit, but this has been really exciting for me because, as you know, I've been really sensitive to acid foods and I can't eat oranges right now. I'm hoping someday to be able to, but they make my skin break out really bad. And I found these cocktail grapefruits are a cross between a pomelo grapefruit and a tangerine. And they have no acid, or if they do, it's so minimal. So I've been able to eat these and they taste so much like an orange. It's so exciting for me. So I just wanted to share that with any of you. If you have a citrus sensitivity or you're sensitive to acid fruits like I am, these may work for you. So maybe you can search these out at your local farmers markets or in your local stores. They're so good. Also, my friend Steph told me about these red Caribbean papayas, and they are really good. I've been getting them at Trader Joe's. They're like $2.69 or $2.99 a piece, and you let them get super ripe. When you get them, they're really green. All of mine are starting to turn yellow, but when you get them, they're really green, and it takes like a week for them to ripen, and they start to get moldy on the outside. They start to yellow, and they start to get moldy on the outside. And when they're ripe, they taste like the little Hawaiian strawberry papayas or the little regular papayas. They're very sweet and mild. They don't taste anything like a Mexican papaya. So all of you who are familiar with the Mexican papaya and are not big fans, you may really like these. Sweet and delicious. So give those a try if you are a fan of papaya. They're not organic. That's the only drawback, but I still eat them. They're good for me. And I've been doing lots of mangoes still. We're just starting to see cherimoya, which is really exciting. You guys know how much I love cherimoya, and they're just starting to show up at the farmers markets. And I've been trying to do a lot more greens. Greens are really important for minerals and protein, so I've been doing lots of really big green salads, and like I said, I'm adding some greens to my smoothie in the morning, and I just love cucumbers. And I do dates, a lot of dates from time to time, just to really get my calories up there. So I wanted to share that with you because I know that really helps you guys when you're trying to decide what to eat and how to prepare your food and stuff. I also wanted to share my story because my very dear friend Cassie and I were talking about how many people in the raw food movement are going back to eating animal foods. And she knows my story, and she thought that it would be a really good idea for me to share with you what I went through back in the day, and thought that it might be really helpful for many of you. So I wanted to share that back in 2000, I think it was, back in 2000 or 2001, I became a vegetarian. This was before I really got into the whole raw food thing. I was struggling with my digestion back then. My skin issues were going crazy. I was searching out answers. Like it's been a constant search for me to try to get my health into a good state of balance. and I discovered Ayurveda, and I began seeing Ayurvedic doctors on a regular basis, and I became a vegetarian, and I followed their meal guidelines, and I followed that for about 2 years. I was eating dairy products still. They were very big on dairy products, and they use a lot of clarified butter to saute their vegetables and things like that. So that was a big thing in my diet. So I was eating a really high-fat diet. I was doing lots of vegetables, lots of rice, and a lot of herbs and Ayurvedic herbs and things like that. And unfortunately, my health really never improved. I saw minor improvements here and there, which is kind of why I continued for 2 years, really continuing with the program, hoping that eventually I would really get better, but I never really did. And after about 2 years, my health seriously started to decline. My immune system was just shot. I basically began catching every cold and flu under the sun, was having all kinds of problems, and it was not good. So my very good friend, who is a doctor, he said to me, Alicia, if you don't start eating animal protein, your body's just going to start consuming itself, and you're just going to continue to get more sick, and you'll probably end up in the hospital, and it's not going to be good. So I really, really didn't want to go back to eating meat. I had gotten so used to not eating it, and I felt much lighter in terms of not having to digest meat. It was just so hard for me to even think about putting it in my mouth. Like, it just did not appetize me at all. The thought of putting meat into my body just repulsed me, and I just didn't want to do it. But I was at the point where I was so sick I couldn't barely function, and it was not good. So I went back to eating meat, and of course I still had all my digestive problems, all my skin problems. I wasn't feeling well at all, but I had my immune system back. I, had more energy, and I was doing better. And so at that point I just felt like, well, I can't survive on a vegetarian diet, let alone a vegan diet. How would I even do that if my immune system is just not going to function properly? Well, the knowledge I have now is so different. I know so much more now than I did back then. And of course I went all those years continuing on that path of eating meat until my body just really forced me into a point where I just could not eat that stuff anymore. I just got to the point where my digestive system was completely shutting down. It wasn't working at all. I was miserable, and I couldn't do it anymore. And so my body basically kind of forced me into eating a vegan diet because I couldn't digest any of that other stuff. And I started doing research, and I hopped online, and I got into the high-fat raw, which helped a lot, but the nuts, the heavy dosages of nuts and fats were just still bogging me down. And when I was so happy when I found the low-fat raw vegan diet and discovered that I could eat just fruits and vegetables and thrive. Looking back now, the difference is the carbohydrates, the calories. Eating all of that fruit is so important for your energy and for getting your calorie needs. Before, when I was doing the vegetarian diet, doing the Ayurvedic thing, I wasn't getting the right amount of carbohydrates and the right amount of nutrients, and I was just eating too much fat, and it was just really causing me a problem. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who really succeed on the Ayurvedic diet, and I'm not knocking that at all. I'm sure it works great for some people, but for me, it didn't, and I know the difference now because I'm doing so much better. The moment I started on the low-fat raw vegan diet, my body started to change. I started noticing differences, and good changes, positive changes right away. My digestion started working so well, and eventually I discovered what was causing my skin problems, and removing that made a huge change. Just even the texture of my skin now is so different, and it's just amazing how much the low-fat, raw vegan diet really helps and allows you to thrive. If you eat the right thing, you'll be fine. And so I'm really happy to be able to eat fruits and vegetables. That was really my dream back in the day, because that's what I felt best on, but I really didn't think that I could survive on it. So now that I know that I can thrive eating just fruits and vegetables, I'm the happiest person. I'm so grateful for the information that's out there about the low-fat, raw vegan diet, and being able to eat this way is just, it's a dream for me. And I feel so good. I have so much energy. My digestion works like a dream. My skin is clear. My emotions are balanced. I just feel really good. So I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that I understand where these people are coming from when they're on their raw path and they're not doing well and they feel like they need to turn to animal products. I was there. I know what that's like to have your health not be functioning in the ultimate way and you feel like you need to turn to animal products. And so I just want to say that I was there. I know what it's like. I have sympathy for those people. It's a really difficult decision for many to turn back that way. But I also want to say that eating lots of fruit can make the biggest difference in the world. Those carbohydrates are so important, and the calorie intake is so important. And when you get it and you start thriving and you start feeling better and you get that excess fat out of your diet, everything falls into place. At least it did for me. And so I want to share that for those of you out there who are kind of against the people who are turning towards meat. It is a hard thing to see and it's frustrating, but hopefully down the line they'll discover what will work for them the way that I did with the low-fat, raw vegan diet. Hopefully they will turn back and realize that a vegan diet is a really good thing and that their bodies can thrive that way and that they can be really healthy eating just fruits and vegetables, that they don't need animal products. So I know everybody's body is different, everybody reacts different, and there are so many different varieties of the raw diet out there. And I just feel like if I can do this diet, if I can thrive on this diet based on my experiences from before being a vegetarian and following the low-fat, raw vegan diet now, I feel like if I can do this, I feel like anyone can. So I wanted to put that out there, and hopefully we can create a positive environment out in the raw food world and not put people down for turning to animal products, because I know back then if people had come down on me, it would have felt horrible. I wouldn't want people to judge me or make me feel bad for my decisions, because at that time I felt that's what I needed to do to survive. I felt that's what I needed to do to have perfect health. And so I just want to spread a positive message out there and put positive energy out there towards those who are feeling like they need animal products, and hope that someday they will turn back towards a vegan lifestyle and realize that eating plenty of fruit and greens and getting lots of calories will make a difference, and they will thrive and they will feel really good. So I just wanted to share that and hope that you guys are all doing really well. Thank you so much for subscribing, for your friendship, for your wonderful comments. So that's it for this edition of Raw Synergy TV, and I'll see you next time.